Spoke an awful lot about how Turbo wants to take on his old team. Missed taking to the field on this one, and he's going to want to get something big against the Knights as that, well, all right, Turbo's out.
Oh man, already a classic Turbo pulsing goal, but what is happening for PK? That's about the worst start they could have gotten. It's not like they had a 50-50 go wrong and the ball flew into their net. It's not like something random happened and the ball flew into the net. No, they just missed. And now Turbo has scored a wide open goal. Making it look easy though, he just smashed it in. There's always going to be confidence from Turbo in that regard.
You wake up on the day, you're all excited for top 8, you're getting to scrims, you're all warmed up, you're good to go, you're feeling ready, the admin says start, and then you double commit.
Yeah.
Not really how you imagined it in your head.
Yeah,
they're going to have to try and dust off.
I thought double commit was supposed to increase the chance that you hit the ball, but nobody made contact. It's really quite a poor showing there for PK.
I hear Greasy is available for coaching if he is offered good enough. So maybe they can give him a shout on that one, but they've got to try and turn this one around. Turbo Pulsar already dissecting the mist, has got an open net, and he's going to score off it. Well, Atomic's going to see it in.
You know, credit to Turbo, he is becoming a speedier version of himself as every passing day goes by in RLCS Season X. May have been, you know, slightly slower and more sluggish than the rest of the top teams in NA when the season started, but he knows how to grind this game. He's been around since Season 1, and he's won half the World Championship lands that have happened since then. And never doubt him as he puts in, or as ZPS puts in the first goal for PK. That's good follow-up, actually. Ridoko got a decent 50-50, but to beat Turbo to that ball, it's usually the position Turbo's good at, you know, being first to those 3 balls. It's spill loose. 1 goal for PK.
I really do like the way that Ridoko actually took to that play. He noticed the opportunity, and he managed to actually get a slight stutter step from the defender, got him to move forward a little bit, and then could force the challenge at a bit of a more awkward angle. That's good play. Definitely doing the best job that he could from the situation he found himself in. Turbo taking it by himself. He's got to be feeling quite confident after the start that he's had as the ball skirts around the front of the goal. So far, Team EnVy looking just fine, but they want to get rid of this one nice and quick. Clear's not going to do a good enough job of that. Follow-up from Atomic's definitely going to help. Kinsei to ZPS. Can he get another one? No, not quite. Just too much asked of him.
Yeah, he tried to get a banger on the end of that. He's twisting into it to look for, you know, a big contact, but he ended up hitting it quite softly towards the goal. This is still a huge improvement over the first few seconds we saw in the game. I think anything would be coming out of PK. But they've got to be careful because this is a very dangerous EnVy lineup. We've seen that all week. We've seen that all tournament long. And they're only going to get better as we go deeper and deeper into this one with Turbo Pulsar, keeping them on the right track and keeping their heads in the game.
Missed, almost gets dunked. ZPS with the follow, and shot left an awful lot to be desired. Kinsey's going to come and take his turn. This is good pressure right now from Pittsburgh Knights. Can they keep it up, though? Turbo, a much bigger midfield presence than I'm used to seeing him. Very happy to switch halfway through rotation to keep on the ball. Is missed off the backboard, goes for the double tap, and what a shot that is! Good luck keeping that one out.
Absolute monster strike from Mist. He was going as fast as he could to that one, and notice that even at the very end, he's air rolled into the ball for extra power. Brilliant goal as EnVy get their 2-goal lead back. And for all the teams right now at the top of the game in NA, speaking mostly about Space Station Gaming, what do you see? You see a team full of players that nobody wants to play against. That really is what EnVy are becoming for me. They started off being just a team who were trying to avoid getting scored on and maybe get a goal every now and then to sneak out wins against teams who, for the most part, out-pressure them. Now they're just getting so deadly from all angles, and all 3 players stepping up. Turbo, Mist, and of course we always expected that from Atomic anyway.
Mist now on the ball, wants to take this a bit further. Another goal could very well secure game number 1. It's not a great ball from Turbo, however, and Atomic's going to be called into action. That's a fantastic touch just to give his team a bit of time. A little bit touchy on the defensive side right now from Team EnVy. What you want to see if you're Pittsburgh Knights, you want to get this goal nice and quick. Give yourself a little bit of breathing room, starting down for your third. Kinsey wants to see if he caught them out. Double commit, double the chance to save, and it does work. Atomic caught into action yet again. Feels like Atomic's had a few occasions where he started to move forward a little earlier than the offensive play actually requires him to do so. That's how he got scored on earlier on. He's going to need to make sure he times that well.
Yeah, EnVy are known for that. That's actually a good chance, but ZPS lacking power once again. Just not good enough. And now here comes Atomic. Has he got the bump? He does, and it's off the bar, but cleared by ZPS. It's getting back quick enough. And notice that EnVy are not too afraid to double commit when you've got two players incredibly close to the ball, and the recoveries are going to be basically immediate. They'll just go for it because they'd rather double commit.
He's got another.
Oh, he has. There's that trip on the goalpost as well. And there's a brilliant angle by Mist, but a little bit embarrassing from Kinsey. He's just falling over the curve. No chance to save it if you've got no way to jump into the air.
The story's horrible when you've made a couple of mistakes that you wouldn't expect from yourself. It's even worse when you can look across the field and say, all right, well, we can sort it out, but we're still going to be struggling in this one. Team EnVy really figuring it out in the second half of this game. Turbo looking to continue onwards. That midfield currently belonging to Team EnVy. 20 seconds on the clock. Maybe Atomic could add himself to the board. No, he'll definitely want to. Cross again. Has Mist got the recovery? Yes, he does. And Mist, almost an unsung hero of sorts when it comes to this team. Team EnVy slicing and dicing at the end of this game. Mist gets himself on the hat trick.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. I wonder why nobody was there to knock in Turbo center ball. I guess they just didn't want to give him another assist on the board. This time Atomic to Mist and a beautiful bar down shot. Of course, if that had bounced on the way in, it would not have counted, as we were on 0 seconds by then. But Mist placement has been perfect in this game. That is the difference between these two teams. You look at the quality of striking between EnVy and Knights. It's just night and day.
And, you know, when Turbo came in, there was an awful lot of talk and an awful lot of eyes suddenly put onto this team about how they could now potentially be title contenders. But I feel like a lot of that misses what Mist has actually provided to this team, because for the longest time, this is the team that was the shell of the old Ghost Gaming roster. And for the longest time, that team was stuck in 6th place purgatory. They'd always be a game away from making it to the World Championships, and they would never quite do it. Mist comes in and in one season turns them around. They would have got 4th place last season, which, you know, if the situations were different, they would have actually gone to the World Championship. You know, Turbo Pulsar might take them to the next level, but it's Mist that got them out of the slump.
Oh yeah, this is a full team that you just really don't see any problems with. I think all EnVy fans looking at this roster right now are just thinking, yes, we want more of that. Just let's keep these guys playing together and keep producing the results that they have been producing. Maybe they want to be #1, but they look like a team who are capable of getting up to that level, certainly. I'm really looking forward to seeing more from them. That's a good chance, but oh, it's gone wide, and again, the quality of shots has been so disappointing for PK. They don't even test the target.
It feels like, especially in the start of the last game, they were doing a decent job of trading possession. Haven't made anything of it just yet. This might be a big chance. ZPS is going to back down, understanding that Mist was always going to get there before him, and Mist, he's now got another one, has he?
Wow.
Oh my goodness! Do not give that ball to Mist when he's got the backboard as an option. I think at this point, Pittsburgh Knights need to set up the tent and leave someone up there.
You know, usually in Rocket League, if you see somebody on the other team jump up for a ball before you jump, and the ball's actually moving towards them, you don't even bother. You don't go, because they're going to beat you to it. But Mist just committed after ZPS was already in the air and caught up to that ball to go over the top of ZPS. It wasn't even close. That is an unbelievably fast approach, especially if we're talking about setting up a double touch. Just truly unbelievable stuff in the approach from Mist. I've yet to see a first touch that's that impressive for a backboard pass to himself. Just take a bow.
Sorry, Atomic, at this point, I think you might need the triple reset just to sort of get into the conversation with him. We're not trying to ignore him. It's just been that good from Mist so far.
Just crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Keep him off the ball. Keep him up the stand, whatever you need to. Put someone on demo watch if you have to. Just don't let Mist play.
Well, the problem is, like, they actually had somebody committing to the previous one early. They still didn't get there in time. That's a good slow shot by ZPS. Now, we've been critical of their power shots so far this game, but there is a time and a place for going for a slow roll shot. And this is one of them. Missed, expected a faster one to the bottom left corner. ZPS has slotted it past him, so still a great looking game for PK overall. Just a very worrying four-lettered player on the other team that's hopefully done scoring ridiculous double touches as far as PK are concerned.
PK, a lot of their success in this series coming from getting individual one-on-ones and forcing really tough challenges for Team EnVy. That's been both their goals so far. Feels like that might be a recipe for success for them. Just gotta find that situation more and more often, which is easier said than done. Missed, clears long. Turbo realizing that didn't really stand much of a chance against Rodoko. Atomic now gonna have his turn. Kinsey's decided to pre-jump for him. Just sort of wards off Atomic from moving forward any further. It has to be said that, you know, if you take away what Mist has been capable of so far, Pittsburgh Knights have not looked too bad when it comes to rotation gameplay. In fact, still putting threats forward.
Yeah, so I did expect this game, or this series, to be closer than the NRG Alpine series was. I expect more goals for PK and less for EnVy in comparison. But I still think EnVy are going to sweep this, regardless, because they are a level above. And it's not just about practicing and getting synergy together. I really do think that Turbo's mechanics have improved since the off-season, and Mists have definitely improved. Like, these guys are clearly putting the work in and grinding this game. Atomic was really touted as the mechanical player in this team, but now it doesn't look like that's what they're all about. They're just trying to become a triple threat team like Space Station Gaming are, and like NRG are when they're playing at their best.
Well, that is the original reason why Mist left his old roster, is that he wanted to play a different role. He didn't want to be stuck as the third man anymore. And he's proving exactly why he felt that way. He's going to need to show up throughout the entirety of today. It's a good interception from CPS. Turbo casually catches it, tries to find Mist. So far, so good, though, from Pittsburgh Knights. They just need that one mistake. Is this it? As Rodoko loses the race to the ball. Pittsburgh Knights forced to give up at least a little bit of space for Team EnVy to work with. Straight back onto the offense, though. That's Kinsey. Goes for a first-time shot. They're going to need to do a little bit more than that in the future. Just feels like now that we've got to crunch time, Pittsburgh Knights, for all of their possession, have gone a little basic with how they're trying to play the offense.
They're rotating very deep whenever they leave the attack, and that's allowing EnVy some breathing room just when you think that PK are going to be able to force their way through. Just get EnVy boost starved and put in the final shot that EnVy won't have an answer to. You see that two people have gone back into the PK half, and EnVy have got time to just take the ball down, grab some boost, and then get rid of the danger. So that's really the difference between the very top teams in NA and all the other teams who are trying to become top teams in NA. They're just a bit scared to stay up front when they've got the opportunity to do so. This is a good chance for ZPS. Going for a double himself. It's saved by EnVy. Let's see if they can keep the pressure on in the last few seconds.
Yeah, I do want to see more of that. If they are unwilling to commit for a two-man passing play, you're going to need something like that instead. It's up to Rodoko to get into there in time. And he will just about scramble to keep the ball out of his net. Team EnVy can steal it on the last second. Not quite. Atomic tries to find the floor, and he will get it. He had an option there to go for Turbo, but I think he noticed he was covered.
Yeah, that's a really safe play there by Atomic. It's interesting that they went for the overtime because, like you said, could have passed that one off to Turbo, but he decided it was too risky, not worth the attempt, and that shows that they're confident in their OTs, which why wouldn't they be? This team have won so many of them, and there they go. They've won another one. Atomic receives Turbo's infield pass after demoing the goalie, and they've done it again. Just all too easy for EnVy once pressure reaches a climax.
Yeah, but Atomic made the smart decision, and he gets rewarded with an overtime goal. So 2-0 for Team EnVy. And I think plenty to work with here for Pittsburgh Knights. I think they'll be looking at this one, especially if this one does end up finishing as a 3-0. So saying, okay, we figured something out about Team EnVy and about how to play them, but we just didn't take full advantage of what we figured out.
Yeah, they just have to focus on themselves at the moment. They've got to stop, they can't really think too much about what EnVy are doing. If there's world-class plays like Mist's double touch happening, that's you know, something that was just it's gonna go in against anybody. You can't really focus too much on that. They just have to try and start putting together their passing plays and their shots, because they still haven't been able to produce top tier quality ball striking in either of these games. So if they can come into game 3 and just start hitting the ball hard, I think that's going to lend itself to a more aggressive style and maybe get a mistake out of EnVy. I'm not, going to make that as a prediction. Just more of a, potential thing that could happen. I think most likely EnVy are going to give us more of the same. Let's find out.
Game number 3 underway. Remember, a date with NRG in the semifinals currently sits there for whichever team can take this. Not only that, but you double up your money. You go from $4,000 to $8,000, as well as a juicy little chunk of the points. Get you that much closer to the World Championship and to the majors. So, Mist tries to get it over. It's going to be Turbo. Gets the decent challenge. Plenty of time for Atomic to really work with.
Shogun, it's worth mentioning that all the NRG fans watching are probably thinking, come on, PK, you can do this. We don't want to have to face Turbo Pulsar again in a key match like that. Well, some of them will, obviously. It's an exciting one. Even if you do want NRG to have the best possible chance to make in the final. But I really do think that NRG's chances against the Pittsburgh Knights would be infinitely better than against EnVy in that best of 7 semi.
Since the roster move, that is a 2-2 matchup between the two rosters. That was also including the period of time where NRG were just heads and shoulders above everyone else. We don't quite know what version or where they stand coming into the day, despite how impressive they looked.
Yeah, this is RLCS X, so you don't want to play against Turbo Pulsar if you're all about the wins. That's a great pass. And Redoko fires it home. ZPS delivers for PK in game 3.
And I love that. For once, they realized that they had the space and actually committed some players for it. It's the first time in a long time I have seen Pittsburgh Knights willing to commit a player in front of the ball. And they do get the reward for it, so maybe that'll be a confidence booster for them. Or maybe Atomic will nail this almost in. Oh dear, I would be terrified whenever that ball even hits the backboard.
Yeah, I think PK were just glad to see it wasn't Mist who was playing at them. So if that was Mist today, he wouldn't have missed it. That Atomic did.
I'm not gonna lie, I almost said missed out of just pure reflex. Very happy to not stutter there.
Yeah.
Right now, it's Pittsburgh Knights that need to not stutter with this lead. They've got to keep this going. Cannot afford to give up a silly opportunity like we have seen them do previously. Redoko just didn't quite know where the player was. Decided to go for the panic touch. Much better this time around. Might actually have something he can follow. Wanted the mistake from Atomic. Realizes that very unlikely, but he has got boost as well. Forces Team EnVy to start scouting out a little bit further on the pitch. Atomic drops it. Mist had to stop. He passes it to Turbo. Turbo for net.
Oh!
And it's off the post.
Well, I think ironically, Mist is the only one who doesn't miss for EnVy today. Turbo and Atomic both hitting the woodwork with great opportunities, especially that one from Turbo. There was nobody over to his right side, so really no reason to be aiming further right than absolutely necessary, as that's just going to completely dilute the pressure and give the ball away if he does end up hitting the post. You'd really put your money on Turbo scoring that every single time. Oh, he's hit the bar again. Now that was a dangerous 50-50 by Redoko. PK have gotten away with it. They've got to hold on though. This has been a scary couple of minutes. No doubt about that.
Turbo's hit the post, Turbo's hit the crossbar. He's just calibrating, got to start zoning it back in yet again. The Pittsburgh Knights, minute and 40 away from taking a game. ZPS, that is a crucial and very difficult touch to make. Atomic dancing around a few players. Big test here for Pittsburgh Knights. How do they deal when this offensive onslaught comes their way? Great touch from Redoko. Does not allow Mist to take the follow-up shot. They've got another player out. 3v2 for the time being. Huge touch from Redoko yet again. He's the player that has really been in control of this so far. Despite a couple of missteps. Feels like he's the one that's had the most to offer. Is this a shot on target and in? Redoko again downfield. And he takes advantage.
Well, Mist didn't even know that he was there. That's incredible. He was just trying to poke that ball into the back corner, thinking there's no way that PK can shoot from that range, but Redoko is just he was just there, pre-jumped in the corner. You read it to perfection. Really quite a bizarre goal, but well executed. And you can't say that for EnVy, who have missed so many chances. CPS puts in another one, and now they have got a real chance to put a win on the board.
At this point, it would be considered a throw if they don't.
Oh, yeah.
Pittsburgh Knights have held off all of the offense that came towards them. They were definitely held by a few missed shots from Team EnVy, but they've taken full advantage of it. They might get another one missed. Quite easily able to take the ball down. Tries to go the whole way. Rodoko really, for me, has to stay in this level of form. Pittsburgh Knights will want to come up with the upset. They'll want to take this fight now to their opponents. And if they are going to do it, Rodoko can't afford to drop a single level.
Yeah, they need to keep this up, but they have played brilliantly here. But they're going for it. Yeah, this is brilliant to see. This is exactly what you want to see coming out from PK. Games 1 and 2, they looked so timid. They didn't have the confidence in their shooting ability. Now, they've been actually firing shots on net without holding anything back, and they've been firing passes at each other just as importantly. And EnVy, they missed a lot of chances. They could have easily brought this game back when it was 1-0 to Pittsburgh Knights. They probably should have equalized, I'd say. But they've missed a couple of opportunities to shoot the ball accurately. They definitely missed some chances to center the ball by taking shots from angles that weren't really realistic. So it's definitely a chance now for PK to make something happen. It's the best game for them by far, and also seemingly EnVy falling off when they don't have missed scoring a banger of a double touch in the game.
Yeah, this will definitely be looked as a missed opportunity for Team EnVy.
They'll hope that they get more missed opportunities, I think.
Oh, this is another one of those player names, man. One day we're going to get the true international roster. It's going to be missed. It's going to be a lot. Who's the third?
That's a good question. Help us out here. All of
give us a shout. Hashtag RLCS.
Missed
give us a shout over on Twitter.
The most confusing team name or player names to cast threes with. Yeah, this missed would have to be in there. I'm surprised it hasn't caused more slip-ups, honestly, in commentary.
Team name would have to be shot as well, or save, or just any other lingo. But for me, this one, Team EnVy, if they could have got that goal, it very much could have taken the wind out of Knights' sails. But not only did they not get that, but Knights by the end was scoring so freely that they weren't looking rigid. In fact, we saw ZPS try and go for a 360 shot.
Yeah.
And that's going to loosen them up a little bit, maybe give them that second wind.
Certainly, they have to win this second game, obviously, or the second win for them. Because they are currently trying to defend 3 match points in a row. But after what we just saw in the last game, it does look doable. I still wouldn't predict it. I'll be predicting EnVy to win every game this series, regardless of the score. But this is the chance for PK to go one step further with their Cinderella story. Show that they are not just a team for the future, but a team of the present. It's not a pretty good shout, by the way. Apparently Jack. That'd be a decent one.
Oh, yeah. No, that one does do some damage.
Jack. That'll be pretty difficult to catch.
That's actually fantastic. Right, well, we'll put that one down as our team for the future. Here we are, though, for the present. And our present involves Game 4 between Pittsburgh Knights and Team EnVy. Turbo against all 3 players. And Turbo really just doesn't care.
Before we completely abandon the topic, I think we also have to mention that they have to get signed up by the Gaming Gamers, one of my favorite team names coming out of OCE.
Gaming Gamers or esports?
Yes, that make it happen. A lot missed. Jack, once your careers are all, once you've accomplished everything you want to do, just sign him up. There we go. There he is. He doesn't miss. Atomic and Turbo just need to pass the ball to this guy today, because he is only scoring bangers.
I think he's a little inspired by the idea that you'd have to change rosters at this point. Mist is just on fire. And it's a good sign for Team EnVy that he's right back to it. You don't want someone like that, especially in a game like this where staying that consistent is so unbelievably difficult. You don't want him falling off at any point today. Seeing him having one off game and then instantly bouncing back would be huge for them.
It's not even like he had a hugely off game. The ball just didn't really fall for him. And there were actually chances. I think I remember one time last game, Turbo could have centered it to Mist and he took a shot instead. A shot which ended up being saved. So I want to see just a focus on giving Mist the ball. Look at him go.
Oh.
He just can't be stopped right now. Easy 1v2. The bar to the rescue of PK once again. Man, I'm just so impressed with what Mist has been able to do today. That's another top corner shot. Great save by Rodoko. Just pass the ball to Mist, EnVy. Where is he? He's in the back left corner. Give it to him. I think they're trying to. At some extent, I'm giving it to Rodoko in an attempt to back pass to the Starman.
Turbo to the side. Looking for that second goal. Could really be the ending blow for Pittsburgh Knights. First touch, but Mist always so quick. Constantly meaning that Pittsburgh Knights have got to hold somebody back, and EnVy are now starting to really ramp up the pressure. This is looking like game 1 and 2 Pittsburgh Knights as well.
Turbo's
They
looking
can't
for
quite
Mist.
figure out.
He's looking for him. He's like, where is he? How do I pass the ball to him? He tries to center. Yeah, it's worrying. How do you handle him? PK just don't have an answer. They haven't been able to do that throughout this entire series. The last game, you know, Rocket League games are so short, you can't have a game where you don't score even though you're playing brilliantly. Mist showed us that last game. There you go. It's another shot that's finding its way towards the goal. Barely saved. Just I swear, Mist, he's playing with an aimbot today. Just touched the ball briefly in defense, and suddenly it's a major threat for PK.
Passed all the way back, of course, that's who it's to. Over the top. Kinsey has to respect it. Oh, you've very rarely seen this sort of play style in Force, but when your player is playing that... Oh, wow! Oh, Kinsey just lapped it off him!
I think Mist has gotten a bit too confident there. He's like, yep, my aimbot is clearly working. I'm just going to shoot from here as well. But Kinsey read him. And that's a huge dunk. Incredibly dangerous touch to be making in the back corner, though, to be fair. Mist, he should know better than to try and chip it past Kinsey in that position.
Look, I think when you're playing this well, traditional logic of what you should and shouldn't be going for tends to go out the window a little bit.
Yeah.
Mist already up. Well, how long is this going to be? Oh, wow.
Oh,
Pittsburgh Knights got it. And that's not a great touch from Atomic Ivory. Still able to follow.
I think it's definitely Shogun. He missed the goal. Is that the turning point for Mist? Doesn't look like it. Oh, he's so close. Still a huge threat every time he touches the ball.
He's definitely forcing some moves from the defenders each time, but they're going to need to finish. The shooting actually that plagued them last time. Follow up. Oh my goodness. Kinsey has got himself the brace.
What is going on? This game is wild. Atomic just missed the ball, and then Turbo just didn't know what to do. He was just stuck in the middle of a hurricane. That's a great double, though, by Kinsey. What a read off the inside of the post.
And for as good as Team EnVy have looked, if they don't do something about this, we're heading to Champions Field. CPS going to take the longest route possible, as he should do. Fakes out Atomic on his way and drops it for Kinsey. Pittsburgh Knights really starting to look comfortable. About as comfortable as you can be on a championship Sunday against some of the most accomplished players that Rocket League has seen. Even then, looking unfazed now in the last few games. Follow-up shot to backboard, and it's in!
What?
Rodoko on! 2-goal lead advantage! And Game 5 is looking more and more inevitable.
Excuse me? Oh my goodness, the play is coming out of PK here. Brilliant recoveries. We saw Kinsey in the last goal with a mid-air recovery to put in his own double touch off the inside of the post. Now it's just Rodoko landing in the dream position. The ball bounces into him and then into the net. And can Mist rescue EnVy? Here he is, up for another double. And he scored it again. Of course he has.
Oh my goodness. Why not at this point? Pittsburgh Knights, they saw their 2-goal lead. They must have started to feel a little bit comfortable. And Mist turns their cushion into a bed of nails. 52 seconds on the clock. And Pittsburgh Knights have got to hold on to this.
I love how every time the Mist is attempting a double touch on target, he's just thinking, how hard can I hit this ball? Not the placement. The placement is just inevitable. He doesn't doubt that he's going to hit that on target right underneath the bar. All he's thinking of, right, okay, how do I air roll into this? How do I time my arrival so that as I'm hitting the ball, my car is just leaning into it, full force, straight through the middle. And it's just a joy to watch still.
I'm starting to feel right now that Mist has just got something against the orange side of the field. He's going for it again. 15 seconds on the clock. Team EnVy looking for the goal to send them to overtime. CPS, huge touch. Gets it over the top of Atomic. Can he just? No, Atomic can recover this as well. He's got Mist in the midfield. He does go for him. And Kinsey is the quicker of the two. It's up to Turbo. He will not be able to keep that one up.
Wow.
Champions Field on the way.
Wow. Well, EnVy, they'll feel a bit unlucky about this one because the second and third goals for PK both had, you know, an element of kindness from the post and the crossbar. However, except Mist, what else have they got? Mist is just everything for EnVy at the moment. If he's not scoring every goal and every single shot that he takes, they don't have much else. They don't really have another way to score.
12.
Yeah, 12
shots from Mist.
He has more shots than the rest of the lobby combined. Everybody else combined is at 10. He's got 12 shots. This is so ridiculous, but somehow PK have made it into Game 5. I don't know how with Mist playing this well, but they've done it, so credit to them.
This definitely goes down as one of the more unique lobbies I've ever had the privilege of broadcasting. Wow, I mean, where do we really go from here? Pittsburgh Knights have got themselves 2 wins in a row, and it all does come down to this for them. So, can they pull off a monumental upset and send themselves through to the semi-finals? We've got 5 minutes between now and finding out the answer to that one. Johnny, looking at this one, what do Pittsburgh Knights need to go for themselves? Is it on them to create something big, or is it them trying to quiet Mist down?
I think it really is the latter. It's trying to nullify Mist's unbelievable level, because they did actually in the last game have some success saving Mist shots. There were 10 saves for PK, and if you look at EnVy and see that Mist has 12 shots, Turbo and Atomic together have 4, then you can come to the conclusion without a degree in logic that they must have saved some of Mist shots, and that's really what this game is about. Try to nullify Mist's offensive pressure and maybe steal another win. What an upset that would be.
Good pressure from them to start with. Mist taking over. This is going to be the danger challenge. Doko has done well. EnVy going all out on the pressure, and I'm very curious to see what version of Pittsburgh Knights we get here. How aggressive are they willing to be in the biggest individual game of their careers? This is already a phenomenal result for them, win or loss, but they want to take this even further. ZPS decides to go for the challenge. Kinsey moves late, that's on target. Rodoko can't get there. And Turbo with goal number 1.
That might be the best news for EnVy. They've scored a goal without Mist doing something incredible. Great 50-50 by Turbo Pulse. A complete punish on the risky angle from the PK player. Now, what are PK going to do in a response to this? They were able to come back from behind in the last game, so they've shown us that they're able to. They're capable of bringing themselves back from a losing position. And Mist is going to bring it to them. You already know.
Atomic decides to wait. No real pressure on him just yet from Pittsburgh Knights. I think that first goal is going to have to really waken Pittsburgh Knights up. Rodoko looks to get off the bag, as this has been a little bit scrappy right now in that final third. Good news for Team EnVy is not only have they got rid of it, they've managed to actually start working with it afterwards. Turbo goes low. That's a good save from Kinsey.
Yeah, it's a bit sloppy by Turbo. First headbutting the floor and then kind of scuffing the shot a little bit. Oh, here comes Mist again though, and Atomic has annihilated Kinsey mid-air. Insane demo. Looks like Turbo's going to take his time and look for Mist to follow him up once again, but it's a nice interception by Kinsey, who's having a great tail end of the series here.
Yeah, Kinsey will want to get something going in this game, especially it was off his challenge that Turbo was able to score. I feel like it's only his right to try and get that goal back. Rodoko catches it, tries to bait Mist in. It's a decent challenge, open for anyone. But, no matter how good you're playing, trying to outposition and out-speed Turbo Pulsar to an open ball, always going to be very difficult. Off the backboard, Kinsey decides to take it late. Pittsburgh Knights need to start putting the press on here. Already lost half their game. Haven't really put too much pressure on the EnVy net either.
Yeah, they're waiting for some kind of opportunity to play with, but they'll have to bring the game to EnVy. Like you said, they have to make something happen, and they have to do it soon. Because EnVy are still playing very quickly, even though they've lost the last 2 games. It wasn't without a war in the midfield, and it wasn't without monumental effort from PK.
Oh, good touch from Fredoko. It's a chance now for Team EnVy to be put back a little bit, but again, Pittsburgh Knights not willing to commit enough players forward that they're just not quick enough to prevent the transition. And Mist daring anyone to challenge him. It's a dare that no one really wanted to take him up on. Turbo waiting for his opportunity. A huge save from ZPS, just drops onto it. 90 seconds now. Pittsburgh Knights, that time is ticking away so quickly. Turbo shot is saved. PK still in it.
It looks like EnVy have made a conscious decision to play more of a ground game in this 5th game, the ace match of the series. And it's really working out well. Turbo's got an open net. He doesn't need any help from Mist here to make it 2-0. PK have been completely surprised by this complete change in game plan from EnVy. It was brilliant. No focus on hard clears and aerials. Just get the ball down. Let's play them on the ground.
So 2 to the better. Experience comes out huge in situations like this. And Team EnVy definitely look just as experienced as they are in comparison to their rivals. Turbo looking for Atomic. Is it done and dusted here? Here's Turbo and the rest of Team EnVy going through to the semifinals. Right now, the way it looks, very much is an emphatic yes across the midfield. This can just take this, waste a little bit more time off the clock, maybe go the whole way here. Why not? Off the backboard, awkward angle if you want to take the shot. One from Team EnVy choosing to do so. Instead, it's passed to Turbo. Cannot make the 3-goal lead stick. But Kinsey needs something massive here, and it's another early block. Huge demo. Need a set, but who do you set it up for? ZPS decides to go by himself. 2 players up now from Team EnVy, and the follow from Kinsey so slow. Doesn't even make contact with the ball.
Yeah, it should have been 3-0 there. Turbo hitting the post once again, but it shouldn't matter too much. There's very little time left in the game, and PK struggling to create any kind of consistent pressure. Now Turbo with another chance to get his hat-trick, and he will. And that is game, set, and match for EnVy. It wasn't the 3-0 that I was expecting. It wasn't the easy road to the semi-final that a lot of us expected, but it still got the job done. And with Mist playing as well as he has today, they look very scary. They look very scary. They look very dangerous. And we already know that Atomic and Turbo will play up to the level of their opponents. NRG in the next round have to look out.
I mean, they're getting the goals now just to try and say, yeah, this was comfortable. We never worried for a single moment. Pittsburgh Knights, they'll come out of this very happy, I think. Maybe not immediately. But this, for many, will be considered an overperformance from them and something they can really build on over the next month before the 2nd regional. They'll want to turn this from an overperformance to what would barely be considered the norm. But semi-final secured, though, for Team EnVy. No upset this time around. NRG against Team EnVy is semi-final number 1.
And I think all the fans watching back home are going to be delighted to hear that. It's a matchup that we all want to see. Even fans of the Pittsburgh Knights and Alpine are, I'm sure, going to enjoy that one thoroughly. It's coming up later on in the day after the rest of the quarterfinals. But well played to Pittsburgh Knights for making this into a real series. They didn't look very confident starting off, but it's clear that this will be a great experience for them to bring into the future tournaments that they play this year. If they can play like they did in games 3 and 4 here for a whole series, this might look a lot different. Unfortunately, Mist on the day was just something special, and PK were not equipped to handle him.
Yeah, I think experience will become a massive factor in this one, because as you mentioned, they start off slow, and they look slow as well in game number 5. The 2 games where you're going to get hit by those nerves the most. So midway through, they look fine, just getting them up to a point where they feel comfortable and good to go with that in the future. But they'll be looking to try and improve on that and to build on this result. Coming up next, though, our 3rd semi-final. The players on it might be a little bit different, but the names of the teams are very much the same. It is a rematch of the only all-North American Grand Final that we've ever seen in an international. We've got the Peeps against G2 Esports.